We're joined here on Wisconsin.golf by Casey Danielson here at a Cactus Tour event at Mission Hills Country Club. And Casey, this is kind of a precursor to LPGA Tour qualifying coming up here in August, and you get to play a couple of courses you're going to play. How do you use this week to kind of prepare for what lies ahead?
Yeah, so I have gone into this week, I just want to get really comfortable here. I want to get used to the heat, get used to the grass, get used to the course. And so I'm not taking anything too seriously, kind of just getting a good feel, a good vibe for what's out here so I can have a good mental picture and a good preparation plan in place before, as I prepare for Q-School.
So 3 different courses out here at this facility that you'll use, that you'll play in the qualifier. You're playing 2 of them here this week. What kind of things do you learn or want to learn as you're going through, and how difficult is that process?
Yeah, so a lot of lines off the tee, and whether it's a driver or a 3-wood is really important. So then when I'm playing a practice round, I'm not wasting a shot. I can actually see what's out there. And also the grass out here is a lot different, especially on the greens. It's really grabby and a little bit bumpy, and you kind of have to hit it firm and really solid. And so getting used to that's been kind of a challenge. And so I'd say that those 2 things are kind of what I've noticed that I really need to focus on in preparation.
What do you think of these courses out here? And I mean, I know you've played a ton of different courses in college. Is this anything different than what you're used to, being kind of having played collegiate golf in this part of the country?
Yeah, I'd say it's well, the courses are great courses, and I'd say that it's pretty similar to what I'm used to playing in terms of yardage and just overall on the course. I'd say that it's definitely scoreable. There's some room for error, which if you're just a little off, but you're getting it in the fairway, you can still score, make some birdies.
How detailed in your preparation do you get as far as researching what you might have to do, having a good idea as to what's a good score, any of that stuff for a qualifier, for the first stage of LPGA qualifier?
In terms of just score and...
Yeah, and do you look back and see what others have done here, or does that just not matter because it's all about what you do this year?
I'd say that's not really my style. I'd say some people might do that. I kind of just like going out there and, playing with what I got and seeing what happens at the end of the day. And I can tell that this, there's going to be some pretty low scores, and you've got to stay competitive and stay in it. But in terms of my preparation, I'll just visualize myself and stay focused on me.
Sure. How big a deal is patience, and are you a good patience type golfer?
Yeah, I'd say that I'm usually pretty patient. I can usually see things pretty objectively. If I'm not hitting it well or not putting it well, just like being really objective and not reacting too much, but learning more as you go along. And that's what this is. It's a huge process, and so I'd say I'm pretty patient, but I'm also really competitive. So I can get a little impatient out there, but I never let myself stay that way. I get a little frustrated, but then I calm down and get back in the zone.
When we talked on the phone about during your whirlwind at Thornberry and then the Women's Open, you were getting ready for everything. I know that it had its highs and lows. What did you take away from that little stretch, and how has it helped you, as you look forward to what's next?
Yeah, so it was great just knowing what lies ahead and what kind of competition is out there, both on the LPGA and then at a major. And so I think that it's given me a lot of motivation, and I also feel really comfortable where my game is at, and I feel like once I get little things together, I can compete at that level. And so I think that gave me some confidence. And also just taught me a lot about what I need to work on and what it's going to be like. And I can tell you now, I need to work on my short game.
Is that kind of, with all the things that went around graduating and transitioning, was it natural that might get, even for the short time you were away, a little bit rusty?
Yeah, I'd say so. I didn't practice as much as I would have liked to, just because of the, whirlwind that was happening in my life. I would have liked to, practice more and maybe get a lesson or two, but that just wasn't in the cards. And
sure.
it's just how it goes, and I'm gonna learn from it, and so, and I think too, a lot of some of it was a little bit of nerves and just kind of getting used to the environment, and then I think some of it too was I think my setup had got a little off, and so it was good.
Lastly, as you get ready for the LPGA part, what's after this, and then how do you bridge the gap between this Cactus event and then that, as far as balancing preparation? Is there any competition built in there, and what does the schedule look like?
Yeah, so I'll be playing in the Symetra event at the PHC Classic in Wisconsin, and so that'll be another great learning experience when I can see what it's like on the Symetra Tour, and be in Wisconsin and have some fun and see some of my old friends, and so I'll be going to that next week, and then I'll have 2 weeks off.
Okay.
I'll play in the Minnesota State Open, which is just a 2-day event right before going to Q-School, and so I'm looking at those 2 weeks after the Symetra Tour as some time to prepare and really focus on what I've noticed in these last 4 weeks that I really need to work on, which would be my short game. And so I'm really, I'm glad that I'm going to have that bulk of time to get some rest, and then also get some focused practice in.
And with that Symetra event, I forgot about that one. I mean, it gives you a chance to see what you might have to, play on to try to gain status out on the LPGA, because it is such a long process. Do your expectations change because it's a Symetra event in terms of most of the field will be in the same boat you are, trying to earn their way out there? How will you approach that tournament in Milwaukee?
Yeah, so I think I'm going to approach it like I did both the Thornberry Creek and the Open. It's just very really no expectations, and I just want to learn a lot. I want to learn what it's like out there, what the tournaments are like, what the competition's like, the course, all of that, and so I can also have a mental image and prepare for that tour. And I'm also really excited. I get to see some of my old friends. My old teammate Lauren Kim is going to be there.
Sure.
And also it's in Wisconsin, which is really fun. And so yeah.
I think Brooke and Alyssa are both playing in
fun.
that one.
Yeah, see, exactly.
It'll be a little bit like state high school all over again.
Yeah, yeah. It's and so I'm just excited for it. I'm excited for the opportunity, and I'm just gonna learn a lot.
Outstanding. Casey, thanks for catching up with us,
Yeah,
and good luck going forward.
Thank you.